Monday, June 23rd edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here along with you. Here's a good-looking shot from the Avalon Pier web camera this morning as we are just before sunrise there along the North Carolina Outer Banks. It is a pretty nice start to the day over that way. The temperature there sitting at 72, and you can see the flags blowing in the general direction of the camera. That's that onshore flow, east-northeast wind, sustained around 7 miles per hour at the moment there in terms of the official observation. Highs yesterday in the 80s across most of North Carolina. In fact, most spots, mountains to coast in the 80s, although it was at 90 in Wellington, 89 in Charlotte, pretty hot 95 yesterday down in Columbia, and it's 60s and 70s out there this morning all around the region. Not too bad at all. Dew points in the 60s, and that's going to stick around for a while. No big changes there as we move forward. But over the weekend, a lot of us got to enjoy some pretty nice weather. There were still some thunderstorms around as we went through Saturday. Most of us dry yesterday. And we have a frontal boundary that's now off to the southwest of us. Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, and then offshore from there. And we were to the south of that front last week, had a lot of 90s for highs all week long, very humid conditions. And then we had a little bit of a break from the heat and some degree of break from the humidity as well at times over the weekend in North Carolina, especially Sunday. And I think really temperatures the next couple of days not too bad at all. Now we did have a few overnight thunderstorms that rumbled through the foothill areas and some mountain areas too. That continues to progress slowly to the southwest as I'm cutting this video. Still raining pretty heavily in some of those spots. I'll show you that in greater detail in just a moment. Now through the northwestern part of North Carolina, that activity moved through really late yesterday evening and continued to develop southwest from there. I'll show you the current radar in just a moment, but there's the 24-hour rain totals. You can see the footprint of that activity as it's been moving to the southwest. And the Surrey and Yadkin County areas, you've had some rain totals a quarter to a half of an inch, but some locally higher totals further to the southwest where the rain has been most persistent there. And you can see around the Lake Lure areas similar to that, we've had some rain totals that are much higher, over an inch or so, even over 2 inches in some spots. Now again, there's the radar at the time I'm cutting the video, which is about 5:30. You can see the storm still going across parts of Rutherford and Burke counties and right down to the South Carolina border regions. Also, pretty mean line of thunderstorms there through Oklahoma and Texas. That is associated with the cold front. Several counties there near the Red River Valley included in severe thunderstorm warnings presently. And you still have some showers and storms with that front all the way up through parts of Illinois, Wisconsin, and Michigan early this morning. So as we go through the day, that warm front holds to our south. So for a lot of the region, not bad. The chances for storms are there, but they'll be very isolated in nature, and probably highest chances being in the mountains and the foothills. I really think a lot of us dry today. High temperatures, 80s to around 90 or so across the region. Now tomorrow, for most of the day, that front will hold off to the south of us here. There's your triad forecast. That's snuck in there. Here we go. As far as tomorrow is concerned, that front slowly works to the north, and a little better chance in South Carolina and maybe southern North Carolina, some scattered storms, but really a pretty similar day tomorrow, temperature-wise, 80s to low 90s in some spots. But then that warm front lifts to the north. We're back into the hotter and muggier type of air. A little better chance of some afternoon thunderstorms, and you can see by Wednesday a lot of us getting up into that 89 to 94 or 95 degree range for highs, and that's where they'll then stay right on through the weekend. All right, let's check what's happening here in the tropics. And typically during the month of June, you look for development close to home. So really the areas to focus on for when you look through the historical records, typically it's the Gulf of Mexico and then down into parts of the Caribbean Sea where you see tropical development form, and also stalled frontal boundaries down around the Bahamas can sometimes spin up tropical activity. So those are the areas you kind of keep an eye on for early season tropical development, and in those areas I just mentioned, not a whole lot going on. Gulf of Mexico pretty quiet. Western Caribbean Sea, there's a tropical wave there, but it's not organized at all. So the basic idea here is there's no sign of any tropical development over the course of the next several days. All right, that is it for today's edition of the video. Everybody have a wonderful day, and God bless.